Hey, how's it going? Adrienne Elise here. I just want to pop in and say happy equinox, happy spring. Tomorrow on the 20th, the sun is moving into Aries, and this marks the time when the days are equal of day and night. And so it's a time when we can find balance in our lives, except for that today we're feeling, and tomorrow also, we're feeling this conjunction of the Sun and Chiron. So the Sun and Chiron are coming together here, and they've been close this whole last few days and for this new moon. So first the moon crossed over Chiron, and now the sun is hanging out with Chiron. And Chiron is a wounded healer. And in these last degrees of Pisces, we're just feeling it. We're feeling where we're dragging our past behind. Like we're seeing the things that the conditioning and belief systems that are still ruling our life and keeping us from moving into our future. And so with the sun moving into Aries and spring equinox, it's this feeling of like, we're just opening up to a new season and to a new beginning with that new moon in Pisces. But we're having Mercury on Thursday turns retrograde. So Mercury and Venus are in conjunction today, and that's their second conjunction. This has been a powerful dance they've been doing. They came together for a conjunction, and then they both moved into Aries, and they both squared up with Saturn. Now they're heading into their, Venus will head into a square with Pluto this week, but Mercury will not, because Mercury is taking a retrograde. So Mercury retrograde allowed for this second conjunction here of these planets coming together, Mercury and Venus. The third conjunction of these planets won't be until mid-October. So we're really getting into a new cycle. And Mercury and Venus, Mercury is our day-to-day understanding and our conceptual reality, and Venus is our value system and what really matters to us, what really makes us feel good and really makes us happy. So we're really reworking our value system with these planets dancing together. It's about trying to understand. And with Mercury taking this retrograde in Aries, we're trying to understand what Uranus and Aries has been doing for this whole last period of time of about 7 years that Uranus has been in Aries. And so we have been having this revolution. Uranus is the revolutionary planet in the sign of the self. Aries is the spark of creation. It's the new beginning. It's new life. It's incarnation. And here we are. The sun is moving over the Aries point, the spark of creation, going from the death process of Pisces in the primordial soup, of going back to the primordial collective consciousness, and then being born into the individual self. So Mercury and Aries wants to understand about who we are in this new identity shift that we've been in, this empowered place coming out of victim. So Chiron is at the end degrees here of Pisces, and it's going to move into Aries next month on the 17th. And so the Chiron, the wounded healer, in the sign of the martyr kind of Pisces, and this kind of energy of being in this kind of stuck in the wounded victim. But Chiron is not only the wounded healer, Chiron is the shaman. And so as Chiron takes all the lessons from Pisces of this connection to the one in the collective consciousness and this going back into the Piscean age and clearing these deep wounds, and then moving into Aries next month and claiming the self-empowerment, claiming this sense of self, claiming this, it's about me and I'm going to stand up for what I need. So this is what's happening to the goddess, Venus in Aries, and Venus and Mercury together in Aries for this conjunction right on the spring equinox is saying our newness has to do with a new identity based on a new value system where the feminine in us is empowered and where we can come out from victimhood. In the feminine, the part of ourselves that feels less than, the part of ourselves that feels low self-worth. These are the issues of the feminine. And that's in all of us. We all have masculine and feminine. And so these issues are coming up for review, and we need to change our value system based on an empowered feminine in our culture, within each of us, and on the planet, where we're respecting and honoring the goddess as she lives and breathes the planet that we walk on represents this divine feminine energy. And so what a better time than on spring equinox than to celebrate this life force that we share with planet Earth. And so I hope you can consider joining me for my spring equinox group session. It's happening right when the equinox happens on the 20th, Tuesday, March 20th. And it is a group session where we look at shared past lives and then a guided meditation to activate into the energies, make the most of this intense, potent time. And then I can answer your questions, get your questions answered about what's going on for you in these energies as we all move together over the Aries point. And right now feeling the last bit of like, it's like the Pisces energy of Chiron right there in the sun is milking out this Pisces energy. So it's really emotional with Jupiter in Scorpio and the Sun and Chiron together. And it's just kind of squeezing out these tears and let them come. Let yourself release all these stories from the past. We're all feeling oversensitive and all the stuff's coming up from the past. But that's because we need to chip, snip, snip, and cut it away so that we can leap off into the future. And so this Mercury retrograde is like, where are you not valuing yourself? You know, like where is are you not standing up for yourself in the feminine part of what you need to thrive in this world? And our world is all based on the paradigm of go get it, make it happen, produce, and this is a male paradigm. But in order for us to truly be whole and complete humans, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to tend to ourselves, and we need to be able to keep our connection to the goddess and to the wholeness and to the oneness. And so the spring equinox is such a great, great time to do that. So I hope you can join me for that event. The information is in the description. And just use the spring equinox energy. Try to go and touch the earth and be with the earth and feel that renewal that's coming as Mercury retrograde is going to take us on a journey of how to empower the feminine and go back and talk to Venus this fall about it and make sure that we got this right. We don't get to move forward with this victimized part of ourselves that feels persecuted by this world. That's not going to work in our new paradigm. And so we have to clean it up before we can leap off into the new. So we're having this big spring equinox leaping into the future. But then Mercury retrograde is kind of like, wait a minute, not yet. Because if we're going to move into the future, let's do it right. Like, let's not repeat these patterns again. Let's build something sustainable. And that's really supported with Mars having moved into Capricorn a couple days ago. And Mars is like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. In Capricorn, it needs to be methodical. It needs to be right. It needs to be one step in front of the other, building on a strong foundation that's sustainable for the future. And so if we don't have our value system worked out of like being able to honor and care for ourselves and move into this new paradigm, then we're not going to be able to be as productive as Mars and Capricorn would like us to be. The mountain goat and Mars giving a motor to the mountain goat. And but the mountain goat, Capricorn's an earth sign too. So really great opportunity to connect with the earth and build from a place of the value system. How about that? Like rebuild our value system based on the original beautiful Gaia codes of this planet that we live on. And going back to that value system, which is about harmony and love and care and nurturing and compassion. And so these are the feminine attributes that have been kind of, shamed and demonized and told they were worthless. And so we are reclaiming that back. It's a big part of the 2018 energy, and Mercury in Aries is going to help us understand how to stand up for ourselves as full, complete, and true humans with our masculine and feminine in balance. So have a great spring equinox. Happy spring. And I look forward until next time. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.